so much, you guys, for joining me today. I'm here with Chris Pinkalla and Drake Shannon of Land of Leopold. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
So I guess we'll just start out. Can you tell me a little bit about how the story started for you? I mean, where did the idea come from? And in terms of collaborating with writing as well. We'll start there.
Well, I guess I could take you back to, I first met Drake in Santa Monica, randomly at a barbecue.
Oh, nice.
There's no artistic connection yet, but I later found out he was an actor, and we ended up going to the same acting class, started doing shorts together. We had a couple writing projects going. And around the time this started, I had just moved back to LA. I had finished college in Austin, Texas, and he had a pilot going that I was kind of involved on the ground floor with, but had been removed, and came back to do that. And kind of as things go in Hollywood, it didn't end up working out for whatever reason, and we just kind of started doing other things. I started writing this story. Maybe got 15 pages in, and enlisted his help, and it kind of really blossomed from there, and we kind of curated it together. And I think the process for us was we do a lot of writing together. I think we get most of it done. I've heard of a lot of writers, they just email each other back and forth. But for us, I think being there we're both actors first and foremost, so...
Well, I like to see your face.
We can talk through, we can act through a scene, and what's good for us is we just, I guess we can tell each other that doesn't work, and you know what I mean, to each other's faces, and not get mad at each other. Or we do get mad at each other, but we can move past it and keep working. And yeah, anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, when Chris and I, because I had experience writing for about 8 years.
Okay.
And Chris came to me with this story, and I was really intrigued by it, and he said, well, would you want to help out? And it was just this story about this individual who suffers with really a trauma.
Right.
And trying to put him back together through these unlikely characters that he meets along the way. Right. Just felt right. It just felt like something that I was very interested. Chris and I have an affinity towards pariahs or outsiders. And so we want to tell stories on these outsiders' perspectives. And we just clicked instantly about that, about the script. And from there it's just sort of blossomed. We locked each other in a house for about a week and just wrote mad every hour, for that week, and finished it. Finished the first draft.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, did you know all along as you were writing it, did you know you guys were going to play your characters as you were writing it? Did you have that idea already in the beginning of the process, or no?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think just because we're both actors, it was we're not really in the Hollywood system as actors, and I think we're always trying to look for ways to create content and tell stories, and this just happened to be another way to tell a story.
Sure.
Whether we were acting, writing, in my case it was helping produce, and in a lot of different ways, and
it's also understanding the voice of each character.
Absolutely.
And then for us that was something we were particularly keen on.
Right.
Is understanding the voice of each character and how that voice sounds. So when you're writing the dialogue, it may not fit for my character or another person's character like it does for Leopold, like Chris.
Sure.
And so having Chris there, and then we would talk the scene through. We would discuss the dialogue, we'd chew it, we'd see if it fits.
Sure.
With Chris, so that it just seemed natural.
Right.
We didn't want anything not being honest.
Right.
Yeah, I think we kept going back and saying, well, does this scene have heart? Does this have heart? At the end of the day, it was like, we had all these crazy scenes.
Yeah, he asked me that all the time. Like, we would get finished writing for the whole day, and you go, wait a minute, does this have heart? And I'd say, Chris, come on, man, 20 hours, you know.
Because we can write a great scene, it can be funny and wacky and really great, but at the end of the day, there's always a feeling, is there something off with it, or does it have heart? It can be crazy and wonky and weird and all that, but if it has heart, it can be effective, I think.
I think from a viewer's standpoint, that right from the get-go, there's like an emotional connection to this person. It's an emotional experience that the viewer has watching him, and just those first 5 minutes.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
I think I think maybe that's our goal as storytellers and filmmakers, is to transmit that emotion.
Yeah, and
and if we did,
you
thank
did,
so much.
because a lot of times with films you have to sort of, and not that they're not good films, but you have to wait a while.
Yeah, and I think it was just a lot of the story with Leopold is about his emotional baggage, or his fighting those demons, and so we wanted to have that translate from the script to the screen immediately, and so the audience could follow that whole journey he's on.
Right.
Yeah, there's no question, right? I mean, just from that opening scene.
Yeah.
You just sort of get a sense of his the trouble.
Right.
The torment that's inside him. Although he's wanting to fight it, he's not quick to act out in a really horrific way.
Right.
I think there also is we try to stray away from this a lot, is creating a caricature, this typical guy, tough guy struggling with violence or whatever trauma, and so but we wanted to make all these characters real, and Leopold absolutely, but and I think that's something I'm glad people, it seems that maybe you picked up, and I hope other people did as well, but there's moments where I think in this writing process we were like, well, no, he does this, and he, but then you're like, wait a sec, he's an actual person. You don't want to, we wanted to make this a unique story.
I mean, there's something so tender about Leopold.
I was just going to say that, yes.
It's just lovely to see if you continue to watch the film.
Right.
But he has this hard outer shell, which is what's so dramatic in the opening scene. But then you start to find out who this Leopold is through the other characters and interactions with the protagonist. And then you find out, well, this guy actually has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
This guy seems like he could be you or I.
Exactly.
And he's just pushed to these limits, of human condition. And what would you do in those circumstances?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and even further on that, it's like, with mental illness, it's undetectable a lot of times.
Right.
Creating this character with Leopold, who's struggling with something that's not too far off, that a lot of people maybe have experienced something similar. So we wanted to be respectful to that.
Yeah.
Make him a real person.
Sure.
So
And he enters into a situation with people that are also, some obviously more damaged in ways than others, but you can also see it's not like the crazy train with everybody. Like you actually can see some identifiable tendencies with all of them.
Yeah.
Jealousy, when you go through the different emotions that people feel,
Right. Yeah, I almost felt like everybody at Milton Way and Leopold, he kind of came into this situation where he found a lot of kindred spirits, and I think that may even be a departure from the typical madhouse genre film or something like that. But
well, they all had nuance. There was a definite sense that Leopold wasn't the oddball.
Right. Yeah.
And that now he was in a situation where he almost was the norm.
Yeah.
And so for him, that's contrast
Yeah.
of character, and to be placed there, I think that's what opens him up initially to the other patients
Sure.
in Milton Way.
And Milton Way is a crazy place. I mean, it's just it is. It's just
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff going on there.
Right.
That, makes that place a little wacky. But
Yeah, in the film, and then
You, Drake, being one of them.
right. Yeah, naturally, and then, but in the film, and then
behind the scenes.
behind the scenes as well. I mean, it was a doghouse, and I think we were very lucky to shoot there first and foremost, and I guess the lady that
Right.
owns the place, was I mean, I guess we
Clark
could,
Mansion is Milton Way, and
Okay.
it's
it's been used
historically,
before.
Oh, it has.
for
Okay.
shoots as well.
It's like a historical landmark in Texas,
And we were lucky to have like Buffalo 8 Productions come on board, and they came out a week before and helped us with the pre-production phase.
Okay.
So,
it was a good while, and then we found Buffalo 8, and they really responded well, and they kind of hooked us up with the Keys, our wonderful director, and he brought on all kinds of different elements
Yeah.
that we hadn't.
The cinematography was unbelievable.
Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I mean
What that man can do with sunlight.
Oh yeah, he'd go in
Crazy.
like that, and then go, okay, we can shoot. Or he'd go 30 seconds. All right, 30 seconds, and the sun would just be rolling around. And I mean, technically, he's brilliant. Story, he's brilliant, and what he did to get the landscapes and
Right.
yeah.
So how long was shooting for? How long were you guys there? And
18 days principal and 21 days B-roll, which
okay.
is not all uncommon for a small indie like this, but yeah, I mean it was not small to us. It was very
Yeah.
big.
what a wonderful learning curve, I
Sure.
would say, because everyone's pulling their weight in so many different departments, just because you don't have the manpower.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, it was just an eye-opening experience.
I think it ensures collaboration, creativity, if you don't already have it. We did have that,
Yeah.
but I think it amplified, things that happen in the art department.
Sure.
The organic nature of the script changing because of what happens on set, whether it be we lose some props that went missing. Okay, so
Oh.
that Chris and I have written into the story to be part of the ending or the conclusion of the narrative. Well, they disappear. So now rewrite something else
Right.
the day before so that we can shoot it and make sense of what's going on.
Okay.
Or another actor leaving because they have obligations for something. So can you write something where that actor's maybe not present, or how can you change the narrative to fit the fact that we're not going to have this person?
Right.
Yeah, I think
Because it's an indie. So the organic change, the shifting nature of the script
Yeah.
to compensate for everything that would happen on set.
So tell me how much fun it was to act together, because you and
Actually,
there
a
is
little
some
too much.
comedic stuff in there too, which is, I mean, it's not just all serious.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some fun things that you guys do.
Yeah, why so serious? But
Or wanna be friends?
Want to be friends? I
yeah,
love that.
That was interesting. To which Chris in real life has said, you know what? But no, it was an amazing opportunity to work with Chris, because I really enjoy his sensibilities as a human being, first and foremost, and then as an actor, I'm just I say, okay, this is going to be wonderful because I have experience with him on stage, and then when we can go do a movie together, which we so much love. We love film.
Yeah.
We love cinema. We love telling stories. So this is just another way to allow us, give us the opportunity to do what we love together, and that's a pretty amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I second all that, and then working with Drake is like, first of all, his character. First of all, Drake in real life is really funny, and I'm always, it's a joy to be around. The secret's out.
Yeah.
But and then his character was I guess a heightened version of that to an extent, but so, and I'm trying to play it straight like the whole time, and so there's a lot of
Well, it was an also
cuts
interesting
and
as
things
far
like
as the
that.
character, because Chris and I had some different thoughts on what it would look like, and so I went in with this whole idea of who I was, and and this Francis character, right, and manic and maybe a little bit bipolar, and where his mind's going to, and maybe he's not so much in the situation that's happening present. And then I'd show up on set, and then they'd give me my costume, and it wasn't what I thought about,
Right.
which opened up other doors that was creative as well. So it kind of changed
Right.
through wardrobe, because you put on clothes,
Right.
and you start to feel maybe of that character
Right.
as well. I mean, it rubs off a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
So you just kind of play with those sensibilities and see what happens, I suppose.
Where'd you guys get all the stuffed animals?
Yeah, I don't know.
What did yours
They came
drink?
with the location. I think those came with the location.
Really?
Yeah, I think they did. There was we credit to Alessandro Marvelli, our key art guy.
Production design.
The house was a mess. The Clark Mansion, Milton Way, and we showed up 2 days later, and he had completely
Oh wow.
rearranged it, and it was like, are you kidding me? This is
Right.
amazing.
This is the same
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
But, I
great
mean,
scene.
Yeah, so but he preserved some of the stuff that was actually hanging around. So
Oh,
I
okay.
think those stuff
They
is
put
wrong
there.
where they came from, but I think
They were in my suitcase in LA.
Right.
Yeah. I had the stuff there. That polar bear was mine.
But no, I mean, to answer your question, it was a lot of fun to act with
Yeah.
your best friend and a collaborator.
But I think you learned a lot too. Just watching me.
Yeah, it was like a master class.
Mastery class.
No, we had a lot of fun. The Keys had to cut a number of times. Actually, there was a really cool take we did that we almost just wanted to surprise everybody, and we thought maybe we'd give everybody a laugh.
Yeah, that was
And
nice.
and it kind of backfired on us, but we had this whole thing where
It was a slap.
it's a slap take. He slapped me, and we thought it would be funny, or maybe
Well,
should-
I just wanted to hit
It
Chris.
didn't play at all, and we
Oh,
just were
no.
kind
I
of
said,
embarrassed.
this is gonna
We
be-
didn't tell
it's
anybody.
gonna
He was
be
like,
great,
"You slapped me
Chris. I'll be
here.
able to-"
Everybody's gonna go, wow, this is great," and they go, "Cut. What are you guys doing?"
That doesn't play at all.
Or there'd be moments where we'd be coming out of the brush or something, and then we just start bursting out laughing, and he's cut. Why are you guys laughing? We really didn't know.
can't help
We're
it.
just friends. We're laughing.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
That's great.
It's very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have those
You
moments.
know, you have to
though.
have fun. And like,
So tell me, what's next for Land of Leopold?
we've closed a distribution deal, and hopefully it's out on VOD everywhere in early 2016.
Okay.
So that's the plan, and we're pretty excited to get it out there on a bigger level. We had already done something with HBO Cinemax Europe. where
Okay.
It's playing over there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's really
I think
it.
people are really responding well towards it. We had a screening in Texas,
Oh.
in Houston recently,
Uh-huh.
and the whole theater was pretty much full, and it was just amazing to see the kind of back and forth between the audience and the film, and they really responded, so I mean, that's shocking to me.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we played at 5 or 6 festivals. Largely filmmakers are your audience, and we did win an audience award. We won a Best of Festival award, and we got some great nominations or wins on our score. Alexis Crespus.
Oh, yeah, that was
He did
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah, and then also Almond Brown, whose song Sons and Daughters plays in the campfire scene.
Yeah, we were
really
lucky
fortunate
to
to get his work.
to get his work on the film.
Yeah, and it's just a testament to everybody who's on the film. You know,
Yeah.
the entire cast and crew.
Great producers to let us do this crazy, movie. Jerry Moore, Terry Duddleston, and the guys at Buffalo Eight. I mean, Ray Wise, Scotty Thompson, the actors that came on. So it was getting validation from a lot of people we respected. And,
Right.
Yeah, and as an
having
indie,
a green light to do it.
It was cool to see that people could question, the script.
Right.
And come in with different ideas
Sure.
that would inevitably have Chris and I asking ourselves, oh, that's actually a good idea. Let's go with it.
Right.
And so it actually made the movie better.
Just
in
not
many
having
ways.
anybody know who we were, it's kind of like a blessing, because maybe, it would have been nice to have the script and nobody question it. And
Sure.
I don't think that's really what we wanted. You know?
Nor do we ever want.
Sure, yeah. So.
So just to kind of go back a little bit, because you mentioned Ray.
Absolutely. Ray Wise, the legend.
So again, with some of the other characters aside from the two of you, did you have people in mind? Like, was he somebody that you were thinking of, or you just had no idea for that role? Because you know how sometimes as you're writing, you sort of think about.
Absolutely. I think early on in the process, we had a lot of A-listers in mind, but no, we kind of knew what this was, and
as a joke, we did.
as a joke, we did, I guess. But I love David Lynch, and I'd actually say maybe there's some influence there with Leopold.
Okay.
In the sort of ethereal kind of escapism sort of aspect of Leopold, which I thought Ray Wise plays amazing.
Yeah.
So he was a great fit when we started really getting down to who actually we're going to cast.
Sure.
And he was absolutely on the short list, a very short list, and when he said he read the script and it was great, and he was down to do it and he was available, it was really awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice.
He's very he's such a professional. He's such a good person. He's a great actor. He's just wonderful to be around on set and off set, and so
the rest of the cast as well, we sort of filled that out. Chris and I had ideas of friends in the acting community that we know to play different parts, and then by the time that we were about to shoot this thing, our friends were sort of busy doing other films and shows, so we kind of had to find different people. So we reached out in different ways, and sort of like Tetris, just pieces started to fit.
Right.
Scotty Thompson came through at Keese. They went to Harvard together, and so we're classmates in a way. And she's been so successful on her own right out here in Hollywood acting. So her coming on the project was great as well. Absolutely.
So what's next for you guys? Right, what are you
we're
working on?
We've been working on this project that we want to shoot in Idaho, and right now we're just trying to make it in a way where it's just really grabs the audience like Leopold did in the first few moments, and then just try to keep them on board. So we're really excited about this project, and it's got these sensibilities of rural eclecticism and kind of a sense of place, in America, in the Midwest, North Midwest, and the sensibilities of that style of civilization living out in a remote area. And so we've just finished writing this short, and hopefully we can find ways and festivals and try to get that project made. Again, it's going to be one of these things that we just do our best to get shot and get made and work with a great team and try to create a great product. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different than Leopold. It still deals with the same I guess the thing we to go back to what we said earlier, it's a story about outsiders or pariahs, people on the fringe of society.
Sure.
And like you said, you're kind of getting a dose of Americana. It's more of a crime thriller-esque
Okay.
type of thing. And we have it as a short now. We have the feature idea, but the idea with the short is sort of, we'd love to direct it. We
Nice.
also want to act in it
Yeah.
together, and so we're out looking for backing and
Right.
actively trying to get it done. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, you guys, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Thank you so
Michelle.
much.